Good evening, Northern Colorado. This is Whiskey Zero, Delta Delta Zulu. My name is Dave, and I'm in Greeley. I'll be net control for this evening's Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club Net. The purpose of this net is to provide a forum for announcements of amateur radio-related events, a meeting time on air to encourage social interaction between club members, and to provide a point of contact for club executive board members. This net may be interrupted at any time for emergency or priority traffic. If you wish to use this system for an emergency during the net, please say break and give your call sign. We will acknowledge you and suspend the net until you advise you are clear. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All licensed amateur radio operators with 70 centimeter privileges are encouraged to check into this net. Club membership is encouraged but not required for participation. This net will begin as a directed net and then shift into an open net. There will be an opportunity for stations with equipment to sell to announce their items. Check-ins are requested for the purposes of counting participation, with no checkout required. Once all stations have checked in, Net Control will ask the club executive board members if they have any announcements, and then we'll call for announcements from any other operators. Please be courteous once the formal part of the net is over and allow for breaks for other stations to be parts of the conversation. When checking in, please give your call sign slowly using the ITU phonetic alphabet. We have had 8 early check-ins. I'll start by taking check-ins from club board members. Club board members, please call now.
Good evening, Dave. November 0, Echo Mike Papa. Greg, Fort Collins, member at large, no traffic.
Good evening, Greg. No Debbie tonight?
No Debbie tonight.
Well, let her know we missed her. Any other club board members who'd like to check in, please call. We will now take check-ins from club members. Club members who'd like to check in, please call.
Good evening, Dave. Kilo 8, Golf, Echo, Echo, Jerry, and Fort Collins. And Kilo Echo 0, Uniform Foxtrot Delta, Scott in Windsor.
Kilo 0, Alpha, Romeo, Delta, Ann in Fort Collins.
November 7, Charlie Tango Mike, Mark Longmont. Golf 6, Uniform Delta Tango, Ed, Bertha, no traffic.
Good evening to K8GEE Jerry, KE0UFD Scott, K0ARD Ann, N7CTM Mark, and KG6UDT Ed. Any other members who'd like to check in, please call.
This is Kilo Echo 0, Whiskey Bravo Kilo, Rick in Greeley. This is Kilo Charlie 0, Zulu India Echo, Darren.
Good evening to KE0WBK Rick and KC0ZIE Darren. Any other members who'd like to check in, please call.
KS 7 p.m. in Colorado Springs.
Good evening, Phil. Any other station? We'll go all stations. Any stations who'd like to check in, please call.
Try it again. He walked on you again.
I got AI 7 p.m. Did I miss somebody else?
Kilo Delta Zero, Yankee Oscar Papa, Scott in Fort Collins.
That was Scott, correct?
That is correct.
0 Tango Delta Delta, skip.
Good evening to KD0YOP Scott and Skip. I got Tango Delta Golf was the suffix, I think. Could you come again with your call?
Kilo Echo 0 Tango Delta Delta.
My mistake, KE0TDD. Any other check-ins for tonight's Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club Net, please call.
Kilo Juliet 7, Alpha Echo Whiskey, Jim in Maple Falls, Washington.
Good evening to KJ7AEW Jim. Any other check-ins for this evening's Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club Net, please call.
W0NEV, Fort Collins, John.
Good evening, John. Been a while since I've heard you. How are you doing?
Oh, real good. Just got back in town. Thanks a lot.
Glad you made it back safe. Any other check-ins for this evening's Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club Net, please call.
Whiskey Yankee 7 Kilo Yankee, Tom in Cheyenne.
That was a double. I got WY7KY Tom. I believe that's correct. Am I right, Tom?
That is correct, in Cheyenne.
Very good, sir. Welcome. And the station that doubled with Tom, please come again. Any other stations who'd like to check into tonight's net, please call.
Alpha Echo 0 Charlie Foxtrot, Ben, Fort Collins.
AE0CF, good evening, Ben. Any other check-ins, please call. Hearing none, we'll now move on to net business. Greg indicated no traffic for the net. Darren, KC0ZIE, did you have anything for tonight's net?
Thanks, Dave. I myself do not have anything specific for the net, but I would like to make sure that somebody's going to make an announcement with details about Field Day that's coming up this weekend. KC0ZIE.
Yeah, that's a definitely a good point. Did you want to do that? I don't think we have Steve on, or how about Mike if you want to take it, LCK?
Zero UJK.
No, I didn't hear your check-in, Steve. Welcome. Go ahead, Steve. K0 UJK, KD0 UJK.
Yeah, just another reminder, and probably the last reminder, that field day is this weekend, starting on Saturday at noon and going through Sunday at noon. You can get information off of the NCARC website for directions to the location. And according to the weather, it's not going to be a very warm time. It's going to be in the 60s, and we might get some rain. So dress accordingly and bring, light rain slickers or something to keep the rain off of you if it does rain. So I hope to see you all there. And again, that's this Saturday and Sunday, starting at noon on Saturday and going through noon on Sunday. Thank you. Back to Nat.
Thank you, Steve. And I would also, like to take this opportunity to welcome everybody to the Monday TechNet with Jim, who graciously hosts that for us every Monday. KA6ETE. He does a great job on that net. It's definitely got some great topics. So I will remind everybody about that net and encourage everybody to check that out Monday at 6 p.m. on this repeater. Any other stations who have announcements for tonight's net, please call. Are there any questions for the board members? Please call. We have now reached the gear swap portion of the net. Are there any stations with equipment to sell or stations looking for a piece of equipment? Please call.
CK.
LCK, please go ahead.
Yeah, this is KD0LCK, the other Mike from Windsor. I recently had the opportunity to upgrade a couple radios, and while I think you can't have too many, my wife disagrees with me, so here we go. I got two for sale. One is a dual band 50-watt mobile, the BTEC UV50X2 with a multicolor display, DTMF handheld microphone. It does auto scan. It's programmed with Northern Colorado channels. It weighs about 2.5 pounds, and it's for sale for $150, the best offer. Second one is a dual band DMR HT with power levels from 1 to 6 watts. It's got a color display. It has an upgraded Nagoya 701 antenna. It comes with a 3100 milliamp lithium-ion battery. It comes also, this one, with a spare 3100 milliamp battery, and is loaded with the DMR NOCO area channels, as well as some analog stuff, asking $175 on that. And then you can always contact me at KE0LCK@ncarc.net. Any questions? Okay, back to you, Dave. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mike. Any other stations with equipment to sell or stations looking for a piece of equipment, please call.
KF4DUS.
KF4 DUS, Mike, go ahead.
I still have a new in the box, never been touched by sailor hand, Virgin TYT TH 9000 Delta 220 megahertz 65-watt mobile radio. I can put Anderson Power Pole pair on there if the buyer desires it. The price is $130, exactly what I paid for it, plus I'll throw in the free programming cable, which I did pay money for, but I'll throw that in for free. I would prefer cash because I dumped my checking account because it was costing too much money, so I prefer cash. $130, already a good deal, and it's going to keep getting better if we get tariffs imposed on the radios. But anyway, I don't really need the money. I have two that are working just great, one in the truck and one in the house, and they're great radios. They do very well with simplex around the area, and once we get some repeaters back up, they'll be even better on that as well. So that's all I got. KS4TUS.
Any questions for either of the mics, please call. Any other stations that would have equipment they'd like to sell or are looking for a piece of equipment, please call. Hearing none, this is Whiskey Zero Delta Delta Zulu for the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. Are there any late check-ins, comments, questions, or other discussion before we close the net this evening?
Well, this is November 0, Whiskey India, Quebec. I've been trying to check in, but I forgot to change my radio over to this channel.
Well, you made it over here, Carrie. Good evening. Did you have anything for tonight's net?
Well, not unless there's somebody with a truck that's wanting me to get rid of a Chrysler 273 engine that I have. So, anyway, that's the situation. Back to net.
Well, thanks for checking in, Carrie. Glad you made it before we closed. Anybody else with late check-ins, comments, questions, or other discussions before we close this evening?
Hello, Echo Zero, Sierra, Italy.
KE0SI, go ahead.
What is your club going to do for field day this year? Go ahead.
We are going to be out at Nunn. We have a field that Nunn graciously gets ready for us every year, and we go out there with all the campers and have a good time out in Nunn. Steve may be on the net still with more information. There isn't quite an address, but there's some cross streets. Steve, are you still out there, KD0UJK?
This is KD0UJK. I'm still here. Yeah, it's up in Nunn, and the intersection is County Road 100 and County Road 31, just north of that intersection, right next to the new water tower in Nunn.
I've never heard of Nunn. I don't know where it is.
It is pretty much like north on 85. Basically, it's just off of 85. Probably, I would say, 25 or so miles away from the Cheyenne border or the Wyoming border.
30 miles from the Wyoming border, and it's about 20 miles north of Greeley on Highway 85, as Dave stated.
Yeah, but the organizer for the Longmont Amateur Radio Club. I'll be totally committed for 24 hours down here in Longmont. Just wondering what you guys did. I'm at our club meeting for tonight, 7 o'clock. I'll say 73, so thank you for answering my call. This is Kilo Echo Zero, Sierra, Italy. I'll be, say 73s, and I'll be QRT.
Oh, well, good to hear you. I hope you guys have a great field day. We're always glad to hear from you guys down there in Longmont. Hopefully you could check back in with us and let us know how it went. Anybody else with late check-ins, comments, questions, or any other discussion before we close the net?
Hey, Dave in the Nets, Kilo India 0, Kilo November. James, currently in South Denver, just a late check-in.
Kilo Delta 0, Whiskey Charlie Romeo, Russell and Highlands Ranch, late check-in. November 0, Alpha Foxtrot Heart and SS Bravo, late check-in.
Good evening to KI0KN James, KD0WCR Russell, and N0AFM Art. Art, just a little FYI, it sounds like you may be overmodulating a little bit and it's causing your signal to be a bit broken. You may just try backing off of the microphone just a bit. Was there any other late check-ins, comments, questions, or any other discussion before we close the net this evening?
KU0, is this better? I'm right now. I think that might have been from being mobile.
Oh, we had a bit of a double. N0AFM Art, go ahead.
Checking to see now. I was mobile moving along. So does it sound better now?
That was a little bit better than the last time, though there were still a couple of times that it seems like you overmodulated and your PL tone got squashed.
Okay, I'll check that when I get home. Okay, thanks for letting me know. It's N0AFM clear.
Absolutely, Art. Good to hear you. And the other station that was in there, please come again.
E0 Uniform Foxtrot Juliet, Tim, northbound I-25, late check-in.
That was KD0 UFJ, correct?
Kilo Echo 0, Uniform Foxtrot Juliet.
KE0 UFJ. Good evening, Tim. Sorry I wasn't quite ready on the keyboard when you were going. Sorry about that. Any other late check-ins, questions, comments, or other discussion before we close the net?
I got a quick one, Dave, KI0KN.
Yeah, I'm sorry, James. Go ahead. I thought you were just doing a late check-in. I thought about asking you if you had anything, but I thought you meant that. But go ahead, please.
Oh, no, you were right. I didn't say it the first time. I just thought of it. Just wanted a quick reminder to everyone that this set of repeaters, the 447-275 and 447-750, will be in use from about 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., not this coming weekend, but the following, June 29 and 30, in support of Bike MS. So just a quick reminder there that we'll have some busy traffic days on there. And thanks again to NCRC, its members, and community for the use of the repeater. That's all I had tonight. Thanks, Dave. KI0KN, back to net.
Yeah, and thank you, James, for taking care of that race. That's great of you to do that, even though I know that it often interferes with field day, and we are definitely happy that you get to play field day, play radio this field day with us. So good to have you, and I'm glad that you get the break in the field day this year. Any other late check-ins, comments, questions, or other discussion? Hearing none, I'd like to thank each station for their participation this evening. This is going to conclude the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club net. This net will occur next Wednesday at the same time on this repeater. The repeater is now open for general use. This is Whiskey 0 Delta Delta Zulu 73. This presentation was brought to you by the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.